already 2025 and we are here and we want to kind of just talk about how we've been using AI in the previous year, what we think the trends are. We want to influence or to influence you in 2025. So, Mina, how have you been using AI chat GPT?
Well, you know what? Actually, what I'll say is what I've seen people use and do with AI and listening to what they've been doing and getting comfortable with it. And what I've seen over the last 2 years is and heard, it's going to take over your brain. It's not going to let you be smart. And then I've had the extreme opposite in another organization, another school district, where they fully embraced it and they're wanting the community of teachers and support staff and parents to use it to see what it'll do for you and how it can help you instead of thinking that, what, I don't want to use it. So some of the things that I've seen, something simple like you write an email and you want to respond to someone, but you don't want it to kind of like feel like you're being aggressive or curt or angry, or you want to respond and you want it to be fluid because it needs to go to somebody that will find all your errors and the commas in the wrong place. So you can throw the email response into Chat GPT and say, make this more fluid and use my voice and make it friendly because emails can be misconstrued. Like we read them in the voice that you think that you hear the person talking. So you try to make it like friendly. Like that's one thing that I think everybody should do. It takes less than 10 seconds to have ChatGPT kind of open on the side. Like I have 3 screens right now. So if you have it open on the side, you throw it in, it takes a moment, you throw it back into your email and voila, voila. Like it's
So,
that I feel like that is something simple. And I'm not saying that I can't just send an email, but one thing that I've noticed is that I will skip a word. I've even skipped words talking because my brain works like sometimes I feel like it's just going. So I'll skip like a word, an article word, meaning is, as,
the
of.
unnecessary words, you don't need
Right.
those.
I don't need those words. Or
So, okay. So you've given some concepts of how you've seen people use it. Um, I know how I've seen people use it in real estate, but let me tell all of you how I've been using ChatGPT, AI. You know, specifically, we can say the last year, but I could probably go back to 2022.
right.
So, number one is real estate marketing. Number two is I've been using ChatGPT to help me break down data in the real estate space, but using the data that comes from my multiple listing service. And then number three, I actually used it to edit my Coffee with Carrie weekly read. I'm not finished with the book. It's finished. I just need to edit it. And then I've been using it to think. So, for example, if I'm stuck on something, I've been using it to kind of brainstorm me through certain issues. It could be that I'm trying to think of how I'm going to write another course. And I know you said something important, Mina, like people are there are certain industries or people or groups that might think that AI is going to take over and it's going to not make us smart. But I can tell
It
you, had
already
I
took
had this
over.
back in high school, I think it would have helped me understand the flow of a paragraph or the flow of a sentence or, a verb versus an adjective. Like there are things that I still struggle with
Right.
in my adult age that I like with ChatGPT. So
There,
those I could
there.
I could say those are my top 4, but if I were to go back to 2022 or let's say November 2022 and then let's say all of 2023, I could easily say that in the real estate space, real estate agents they were using it to create their social media content
Right.
or ideas for social media because you can use not just ChatGPT, you can use Canva, and then also using it to write remarks. Now I do believe real estate agents should not just have it write the remarks, but give it some ideas to write the remarks and then edit the remarks because you don't talk like that. So those are my ways I've been using ChatGPT and then even Canva, because even on Canva I could just upload all of my listing photos and it'll create a TikTok video and a reel in
Right.
seconds. So
So
what are the ways you've been using it?
so there's a few that I really like, but there's just one that really intrigued me, and it came about because I was working with some of your industry, real estate, and it was a webinar that I did. And I remember specifically someone saying, I'm afraid to go on YouTube. I don't like how I look. And this person said physically what they don't like about themselves, meaning they talked about their size. And I thought, you are who you are, be beautiful. And I didn't say that to this person, but the question is how do I go on YouTube and I don't like how I look and I feel fat? Like that was the comment. And I thought, okay, so if that's the comment, let's go. What do you want to do on YouTube, and how can I do it? So we went on YouTube. I typed in something that they like to do, and I found the first person that came up was not somebody that was thin, but very well kept, nice outfit on, hair was perfect, but bigger. And she was dynamic. So what I did is I took what that person did. I took a screenshot, like a grab, threw it into ChatGPT and asked this person, well, what would you want to do on YouTube? And then put the image of that person and what they did. And I said, mimic this based on this person's YouTube channel. And then what could I do as a real estate agent? And this, because this other person was a real estate agent in my industry and in my state. Like, it gave feedback on what this person could do. And the person was like, wow, like I didn't even consider that. And then because of that, what I did is I took what I was doing on Instagram, threw it into ChatGPT and said, what could I do to improve based on my post and my Instagram reels? And then I even took yours because I knew that was safe, and I did the same thing. And it said that yours was very consistent. The colors flowed, the content flowed, and it gave me a recommendation on what I could do differently. Not even comparing what you were doing, but it looked at what I was doing, and I went, okay. I took the feedback. It gave me feedback where, when we take feedback from, say, you or someone else, you're like either intimidated and you're like, oh, I don't know if I want that. But ChatGPT the only personality that ChatGPT has, because it's right open, is anything that it's pulling from the internet. It says, I don't have emotion, and it's just giving you facts. I would probably argue that it's taking the feedback and emotions of other people, but what it did is it just told me, here's some things to do. I didn't take it personally. It didn't
And
have
it's
any
easy
emotion
not to
behind
take
it.
it personal.
Right.
Because
Because
it's not human
right.
yet.
Yeah. Oh, dang. So that was the profound piece of, because when people tell you, somebody that you've known for a while, and they tell you, yeah, you might want to consider this, it doesn't feel the same, even though we probably should set aside our emotions. If we ask for advice, that's one thing. But I asked ChatGPT to fully give me the advice. And I was like, wow. So I did that. I wrote some things down of what I want to do differently now that it's, 2025, and Happy New Year. It's going to give me perspective. So that's one really big thing. And the other one, and this one I think you'll agree on, is finding either data that's a PDF or a screen grab or an article, and deciding whether it's worth my time. Like,
so this is something you did in the last 2 years. You've been grabbing articles and what?
Well, now that you can put a screenshot or a picture or an article, you can upload it with the paperclip, just like you can when in an email and everything else, or you can grab the document. And I mean, I have grabbed articles that are 100 pages long, 30 pages long, and saying, give me the premise of this. How does this impact education? And based on whatever I'm doing, is this worth my time reading? And then give me the summary of what happened. And I will say, do it in less than 10 sentences, so that I'm not reading a whole bunch of information.
I'm going to need the bullet point version, but
right, like or in 10 bullet points, like, so that I can decide if I want to even read it. And is this worth it based on whatever is happening? And it's given me now I read some of it, and now I'm like, I'm not bothering with this article. That's like, it's it's a profound, it is a partner in a buddy and partnering with me and helping me think. Like it's
So go
not
ahead. I
wasting
was
my
gonna say,
time.
so again, so if you were to summarize a year in review, because then we'll move on to the future of what we think AI could be. How would you summarize your year in review when it comes to whether it's ChatGPT, Canva, AI, Midjourney, Discord? How would you summarize your year and how you used it?
I would say the biggest takeaway is that it's made me more efficient. It has stopped me from procrastinating. It has edited some blogs for me. It has, I've even created specific blogs, and at the bottom, I say this was based on 2 articles. This is a blog that minimized what the article said, and it was fully written by ChatGPT. It's allowed me to have a voice, and knowing that I can provide that, let's say on LinkedIn, most of them I'm writing, but it edits. It is a great editor. It's given me more time back. It's organized a day for me. It's organized my YouTube videos. It has given me my next 3 months of videos and given me a playlist. Like these are 5 things. It's a playlist. I can do it. I mean, there's so many things that it's done, but the specific thing that it really has done is organized me and given me more time. It is a partner, it is an AI buddy, it is very available, and it is a thought partner that has stopped me from procrastinating. Because you can be all kinds of procrastinators. And the one that most of us do is I can be a busy procrastinator and do all these things and get stuck in the busyness, and I'm like, oh, I'm just going to do this instead. I'm doing a lot of work, but I'm procrastinating moving forward. So that's a big takeaway.
So the future of AI. Happy New Year. The future of AI. Now, before we even, talk about what ChatGPT thinks the future of AI is going to be, I'll give you my future and what I think it's going to be, and then you give us your version, Mina. So, and this is for me. I could talk about what I think all of y'all should do, but this is for me. Number one, I wanted to help me imagine the possibilities in the world of real estate. I wanted to help me um, think think faster, figure out ways to create more inventory, figure out ways to help the real estate agents in my office or the real estate agents in my membership actually do the business of real estate because inventory is so low. So, getting creative and not worrying about getting other people to try to help me, but using AI to do that. Number two, I need to use it daily. Now, I feel like I was using it often, almost every single day, but there are times when because I was teaching a lot in the month of December and then I was burnt out, but I want to make sure that I'm using it every single day, even if it's just to skim an article or maybe it's to learn something new. And then number three is I wanted to help me work smarter. And my idea of smarter is let's say I am taking all of the data from my multiple listing service, and I'm not going to say all, but because I have access to the multiple listing service and I want to be an agent that is creating my own inventory, I want to pull all of the what's for sale down off the MLS and I want to scrub it, ask ChatGPT not to share it with the world, the public, scrub it and tell me which would be the ideal property to purchase for someone that wants to become maybe a landlord or someone that might want to do Airbnb, because what ChatGPT can do is go to the city or the village and look up the ordinances to make sure I could actually do the Airbnb. Like, is it close enough to a train? Is it close enough to um, food, restaurants, live, work, play, etc. So I wanted to help me work smarter. And again, my fourth, I'll just say my fourth one would be is help me to track my goals better, because I have a spreadsheet for all of my goals and what I'm working on. And in 2024, I got hijacked, and I allowed the hijack where I ended up working on some other things. But I need to protect my yes. And so, how can I do that as my number four? So, Mina, what do you think the future of AI would be for you?
and I just had ChatGPT literally organize it for me. My biggest one is the role that I'm in and how I can become very efficient. And I use that word a lot, but specifically, and I want to read this, transforming data analytics and decision making in a way that allows me to take everything that I've done for the month and having it organize my brain because, wow, everything that is going on in my brain, I can let it hijack me. So specifically, how can I use data analytics to support the people that I'm working with, the principals and educators? And then how can it help them help the teachers and the students become really good academically? That's one. The other thing is how can I use it to organize what I want to do for myself? Like finishing my book, like keeping me on task, creating not just a checklist of getting things done so that I have a routine. Like every morning I have a routine and I like to stick to it. And what is that checklist that is going to allow me to become really focused and organized? And then finally, how can it help me be more specific on YouTube and Instagram and creating a space that when I retire that I can consult and be available to the community, because I'm not going to be in administration forever, but giving it a space where it helps me be better at what I'm doing. And it allows me to gain access to help others. I mean, yes, it is a place where it does help you organize so you can make money, but it's not just about making the money. It's about making an impact to support others so that it helps others be better at what they're doing. I think that hopefully that makes sense.
It does. So, before we wrap up, I don't know, Mina, if you did this, but I came over to ChatGPT and I asked ChatGPT um, what the trends in AI and ChatGPT will be for 2025 for real estate, business, and education. So I'm going to give you what they gave us as the top 10. Do I think it could have given me more? Do I think if I was a little more specific, it could tailor it to maybe, income driven strategies or social media? Yes. But here's the real estate portion. And still there's 10 for real estate, um, education, and then number 3, business, all combined. So number 1 was hyper personalized client engagement. That was trend number 1. And I don't know if this is in any specific order. Number 2, AI powered property listings, which to me is kind of cool because I have the new Meta glasses. I'm just waiting for the prescription, and I could see the tie-in when it comes to using AI. And we really do need to talk about the imaginable, Mina, of face recognition one day. Number 3,
Mm-hmm.
predictive market analytics. This is ChatGPT saying what I already told you, using, real-time offer scenarios, what some businesses have started pre-pandemic even, but now using it, predictive analytics with AI, automated lead generation and follow-up. This is already happening. I watched someone actually have a live conversation with an AI powered bot. And this AI bot, Mina, literally had a whole conversation with a human to get them to convert to sell their house. And number 5, voice controlled home searches, which to me, I could feel like voice controlled home searches, especially for a real estate agent, would be huge. If I'm out and I have my Meta glasses on and I have my mobile device and I can say, hey Meta, log into my multiple listing service and show me the best houses based on this criteria for this client. Boom, and it just starts talking to me. I, and then, but for the consumer, this is why, Mina, I truly believe real estate agents that are stuck on using older systems and they won't change are going to either retire or get replaced, because a lot of the stuff is being built for the consumer, and the consumer is probably looking to buy one house. A seller is looking to sell one house. And so they're going to go to the public systems faster than our systems because it's built faster. Now, here are the
Yep.
business trends. AI driven, this was number 6, AI driven branding and marketing. Number 7 is streamline team collaboration. So if I'm on a team, whether it's real estate, whether it's a coffee shop, whether it's a hair salon, whether it's me as an instructor, you as an instructor, or speaking nationally, streamline collaboration. Number 8, customer service chat bots, which I kind of referenced, because I can say when it comes to customer service chat bots, it's already been there, but I could see the chat bots getting more specific and understanding who they're talking to based on everything that's online on the Internet of Things, the data lakes, right? Because we say everything on social media. Some of you
Right.
probably need a social media break because we just put it all out there.
Yeah.
But I can say there are some businesses that if they're going to use this, they need to invest in better tools, because I was dealing with a company trying to get them to talk to me, and the bot couldn't answer my questions. It wasn't updated. The one cool thing about the customer service part, though, is the multilingual. So if I'm dealing with someone in, let's say, Cabo San Lucas, and that bot can switch languages. And then in education, it said AI enhanced personalized learning, AI tutors like ChatGPT. You're already doing this. And then number 10, AI powered administrative support. I could see the AI powered administrative support. Educators will benefit from tools that automate grading, report generation, and curriculum updates, freeing them to focus on the teaching. But I just lost my train of thought. Oh, and my number 11, one of my trends is for those of us that truly want to be literate, multi, we speak multiple languages, that we could use AI every single day. Now, Mina, what did yours come up with?
Okay, so first of all, I just want to say that that last one, your number 11, I drove all the way to work and I had ChatGPT talk to me with using the voice response, and said, let's just have a conversation for the next hour teaching me phrases in Spanish. And like it did that. And it just would go back and forth. And I thought, it's getting smarter. It's getting, so that's exactly what it's doing. So now I'll tell you from an education perspective. And I actually put into ChatGPT, what are the trends in AI, generative AI, because it's generating it. And based on everything you've learned about me over the last 2 years. And what it said was strategic data utilization, because I use data all the time. And in other words, that's my number one was grabbing public data. Now, because student data is not public, that's harder, but public data to inform what teachers are doing and how principals can provide professional learning for their teachers and students, like grabbing that data to inform, like, this is what's happening, what are the trends, and what do we need to do differently to help our students academically. The number 2 one, which I really like, is the personalized learning. We can do personalized learning on our own. Like a lot of us will go on Google and, I want to learn about something, and you'll get all these articles. What ChatGPT does for you is you can say, I really want to learn about whatever concept it is. Find me 3 articles that are the latest articles in this, and give me a study guide to do whatever. That's personalized. Like for me, but it can do that for students. Like there are students that are, 2, 3 years old that can't type, and you have a chat bot that does personalized learning for them. Of course, I would hope that it's being monitored, because students will ask crazy things. But what's great about ChatGPT is that it initially doesn't want to go down a negative route. It will say, I won't do that for you because that could be harmful, which is nice. But you do want to monitor it, because anybody can do what we call jailbreak. Number 3 is AI-driven leadership development. How can it help? And this is any industry. You want to go into leadership to support others. Like, how can you lead where people are able to do what they need to do without you micromanaging them, and they can take the initiative to do what they need to do on their own? Like, what does that really look like? And then number 4, integration of demographics and psychographics, meaning how can you use the public data and the demographics to inform, whether it's in real estate or business or in education, to help you find the trends that are going to help what your community needs and not what the neighboring community needs. Because all school districts or schools are different. We might think they're the same, but demographics are different. You have different cultures, you have different beliefs, and you need to, as a leader, be able to look at those demographics to inform what you're doing. And then number 5, efficiency in administrative tasks, email, writing, editing. Please help me, read this, make it more fluid, use my voice, that kind of stuff. Number 6, ethical AI integration and privacy. What are the ethical implications of what we're doing with AI? Because AI can think for us, but how are we going to use it so it's thinking with us? And how are we going to make sure that we're really adhering to privacy? Because what happens in education or even in real estate or business is, oh my gosh, I'm going to grab all this data from my company and throw it in AI. But it says open AI, so it's open to the public. So you have to be really aware, cognizant of what you're putting in there and teaching people how to use it ethically and making sure that you're considering privacy. Number 7, bridging educational and business applications. We have talked about the crossroads of real estate and education. And if we don't educate children and teachers on how generative AI is happening in the world,
I think just teachers, real estate professionals, business
everything,
owners, managing brokers,
we need to bridge
we're
the gap.
not first.
Right. Well, think about it. Education is always 10 years behind. We might have all the pretty gadgets, but if you ask a business professional today how they're using generative AI, are we teaching children how to use it? Are we teaching teachers how to teach children how to use it? And are the universities using it? Because the people that are programming the generative AI are the people that may not look like you and I. So the voices behind the generative AI and the programming need to be more diverse, so that when you do put stuff into ChatGPT, you get a diverse output. Because if I put in, it's true, if you put into Midjourney or Copilot or ChatGPT, give me the perfect image of a real estate agent, I always get a male that doesn't look like me. So that's something that is huge. And then number 8, generative AI for content creation. There's no reason why you can't help it. It should help you create content so that it's really quick and fast, and everything that you've done. You take everything that you've done, you throw an image in there, things you've done in Canva, throw it in there and say, I need 5 things that I can talk about on YouTube, and just give me the titles, and then you run with it. Things like that.
So
Go ahead.
go ahead, you finish.
I was going to say number 9, empowering educators through professional development. And I don't mean just teachers in K-12 or higher ed. I mean in real estate, in business. We're all educators because we're teaching somebody something. And then number 10, AI for equity and access. We need to make sure that the economically disadvantaged or have access to it, because Silicon Valley, those students are probably using it in the classroom already. We know that in Japan, they're using it. Japan has the highest scores academically in mathematics and technology and science. And they already are allowing and giving access to their 3-year-olds. And we don't necessarily do that because we have these beliefs that are ingrained in our brain that we don't want to mess people up, instead of saying, let's try it, and then come up with a way to integrate what's happening so that we can change the world. And yes, know that there is the complete opposite, and then how are we going to mitigate or lessen the bad stuff that could happen. So those are my 10.
So give us your takeaways for the future of AI in the coming year, and then we'll keep coming back and sharing insightful information, not just about ChatGPT, but Canva, Google, Gemini, Copilot, Midjourney, everything that we're learning on a day-to-day basis.
And all
what are
the
your
things.
takeaways?
My takeaway is that we need to integrate it in what we're doing. And I think that if businesses and education systems aren't integrating and allowing it to influence and learn with it, people are going to be left behind, and companies are going to create their obsolescence, and meaning they're going to become obsolete, like Sears and Montgomery Ward and the companies that could not embrace the future. Blockbuster. If you keep saying, oh, this too shall pass, it will pass, and you're going to be passed along with it.
And I'm just going to say to everyone, what just my reminder is use it every single day and learn so you can educate those around you. So thanks for watching. Make sure you join us over on YouTube and on Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah. And thank you for joining us in the new year in 2025.